previously on Moviemates.
Who is Amir? I'm Gene.
What the fuck?
Now don't you run away from me, son!
Well, Gene, everything back to normal now?
Yeah.
I mean, are you sure? Are you really 100% sure that everything is normal?
Yeah, after all, we're serious people, I guess.
Good, then help me adjust this aspect ratio. This film is about a young Russian boy in World War II who wants to play war and fight the Nazis.
And once, when he gets recruited by a Russian army, you can see the war through his eyes, and bad shit starts happening to him.
You know, with this one I want to get more into technique because it is so uniquely filmed. It is eerie and chaotic, and I think in war times the human mind must be chaotic, unorganized, full of fear, and this film captures that perfectly, better than any other film I've ever seen.
I mean, like one point I had to say, it's really realistic.
Yes.
Like, that's the most realistic war movie I've ever seen.
And it is super ugly.
Yeah.
It is super ugly. You have these extreme close-ups like you have in the early silent films like The Passion of Joan of Arc, and tracking shots, chaotic tracking shots, because you had this scene where it starts with the main character, you go through the chaos of war and it goes back to the main character, and you really see the war through his eyes. And also the dialogue scenes, they're very uniquely filmed because they're full frontal. They're close-up full frontal dialogue scenes, and you normally don't film it that way.
What way do you film them normally?
Good that you ask. So normally you film a dialogue scene like this. What's your name?
I'm Gene.
But with this film, it's fully frontal.
Ah, now I get it.
Another thing I want to compliment is the incredible sound design, because without the sound design, the movie wouldn't be as special as it is. At times it creates foreshadowing or confusion or simply utter chaos.
And one scene that struck me personally was when they were in the woods and the bombs hit them and the film goes deaf for 20 minutes. You can't hear nothing.
You mean like that? But I agree, I love how this film blends nature and beauty within war times. And all of a sudden the horror catches up to them again.
What?
Speaking of sound engineering and the foreshadowing of the scene, I want you to guess with as little words as possible as this scene has what's happening here when they get back to the mother's place. Even if you don't know the context of this scene, you know that something bad happened here, and with the sound design, it slowly reveals itself. And while the girl notices that something is wrong, the main character is in denial and she tries to comfort him, but she can't hide the horrors on her face.
The final part is when the boy actually comes in contact with the Nazis, who are actually purging a small Russian village. And this is basically the most inhuman and horrifying thing I've ever seen.
If pure, uncompromising filmmaking actually exists, this segment is it. Strangely, although war films are quite popular, this is not a very well-known film. Perhaps because it's foreign and it was made in the Soviet Union, but it is an absolute technically story-told masterpiece. And I know this is not a film that you would watch every week, but you should at least watch it once in your lifetime.
I totally agree. And maybe you can even get some life lessons out of it.